Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of WoW Classic. As you can see, we have completed Stormguard badges, and we have also gotten Mara's Cowl's head. This took me two different playing segments, so I had to take a break, came back, found a different group. It took about an hour and a half to get all the badges, and in the midst of that we came across Mara's Cowl. So that's all done now, but I didn't think that an hour and a half episode of me running in circles with a group of 5 people and killing hundreds of the same guys was going to be anywhere near entertaining or watchable, so we've kind of cut to the chase here, and suffice to say that we have all these quests completed now, so let's turn them in and see what we get. Thank you. We will inform the families of these fallen soldiers that they were killed in battle. It will be grim news to bear, but it is better than the uncertainty of missing loved ones. Let's see. Oh, well, that is an upgrade. We will take that and slap those suckers on right away. You took down Mara's Cowl? Well done. Well done indeed. Mara's menaced our Stormguard defenders, and it is rumored she was an emissary between the Syndicate and some other, darker power. We are glad to see that she'll no longer ply her powers against us. Some cloth bracers, and then Auto and Falcon Crest. Falcon Crest and Auto? Wonderful. Here is your reward. I am happy to pay. These have more armor, and more stamina. They have agility.
Be careful.
Not the best thing for us, but I think we're going to go ahead and equip them. And what else do we have to do here? Essence of the Exile. I think that might be something we do in Arathi. Gather the items I need to summon Cyclonian, and I will know you are a great warrior. Perhaps then you could defeat him and gain his whirlwind heart. It doesn't really say where we would find these things. This is the parchment. Maybe the parchment has more details. We might have read this before, but if we did, I forget. Below you will find that which is needed for my spell to summon the great Cyclonian. May fortune go with you. Life root, we have that. Blood scalp tusks. We need 5 more, but we know where we can find these. And then the Essence of Exile. This essence is gained through the... Wow, I wish they would use a better text here. Fusion. Jeez. This essence is gained through the fusion of the 3 charms of the elemental exiles of the Arathi Highlands. Gather thundering, burning, and cresting charms from the elementals, then place 8 of each in my cauldron. From the charms, the essence of the exile will form. Okay. That seems like it would be a long grind. We have one of these charms. We have a cresting charm. And it actually banishes the elemental, the opposite elemental, so you can see banishes a burning exile, which is pretty cool. But if we need that many, that's going to be something I probably farm those up on my own. They didn't seem to be a very common drop, and they're going to involve killing elementals at each of the binding stones here in Arathi Highlands. So let's see what else we can do. I think we should maybe think about a quest, or group rather, for Colonel Kurtzen and finish up Panther Mastery. So that's going to be taking us back into Stranglethorn. This is actually still green, so we'll probably get a chance to finish this as well. This was a tower with all the warlocks in it that had voidwalkers. And at the time we tried it, it was just giving us a real pain in the ass, so... Now it should probably be pretty easy. We probably outlevel them by quite a bit. Alright, so we are back in Darkshore. We're gonna get Tower of Althalaxx done at long last. We've had the quest since basically the beginning of the game, it feels like. And so here we are. Let's see if we can put a pin in this one, shall we? Nobody out here should give us any trouble. Once we go inside, we're going to have warlocks, and they all have a voidwalker pet. But we should be pretty out level at this point. So it shouldn't be a problem. It's very nice to come back to these zones and actually feel empowered. After all the effort and time we put into leveling up, I feel like that's the right way to feel once you come back to an older zone. Look at how soon she runs. That's what got us, right? Is that they kept pulling others? That's what it was. I think we were at a point where we could barely take on one at a time, but then to complicate things, they always ran pretty early. And now they don't care much about us, because we're so high level. It's obviously not ideal, because we're not getting any kill experience, but then again, the ease with which we're going to be able to deal with these guys is going to just accelerate the quest complete, and we're still going to get experience for the quests, since it's green. Had we waited one more level, I have a feeling that quest would have gone gray. Which would have been sad. We probably would have done it anyway because I'd like to see how this story wraps up, or... I mean, I don't want to jinx us, but it could chain into something else. We'll have to see. So much smoother than the first time we were in here. Just going to go ahead and hamstring right away. A lot of BlizzCon news coming out today. Things I am most excited about. There's going to be a linear narrative story the first time you level in the new expansion, and then after that, for alts, you're going to be able to choose which zone you start in and kind of make your own leveling experience. So that's really awesome. There's going to be a level squish, so the max level in the new expansion is going to be level 60, so characters will start at level 50, and then they'll level through the Shadowlands from 50 to 60. Other exciting things, if you level a new character in Shadowlands, you're going to have a new leveling experience. There's going to be a new zone for character levels 1 to 10. And after you reach level 10, you pick what expansion you want to level all the way through. So that you get to see the full story of one expansion, and completing that expansion, whether it's Burning Crusade, or Wrath of the Lich King, or Mist of Pandaria, or even just Battle for Azeroth, once you complete that expansion's content, you're ready to go into the Shadowlands. And so that's really cool to me. That leaves a lot of potential for people to experience coherent stories of the expansions, and it gives a reason to play alts. And with all the new race options and things in the game, I think that, you know, the comeback of alts in that sense for the story content is really awesome. And then character customization options. They're introducing a lot more character customization. You'll be able to pick different races. For instance, you know, humans. You can actually choose a character that looks mildly like what you might look like, instead of being stuck with the default character models with just skin tones over them. There will actually be races. Same thing for dwarves, trolls. They've showed undead that are going to have options to not show their bones. Like, we haven't been asking for that since 2004. Yeah, so a lot of really cool changes. If you guys are interested in that kind of thing, I suggest checking out If you don't want to spoil any of it, well, I won't spoil any story stuff, but I do like talking about the new systems and system changes and stuff like that. I think are really exciting. All right, this should be the guy that we need right here. Althalaxx Narison. He actually looks pretty badass. I like his robes. I like the color coordination. Very cool. And we got a journal page. Let's see, let's check this out. It's weird that it's gray. It never ceases to amaze me how easily hatred can be used to bend people to your will. The orcs and trolls were easiest, their hatred of the Alliance making them willing subjects to hear the message of the Dark Strand. Do they have any inkling of the greater power they serve? That infuriating paladin, Delgrin the Purifier, has been poking into our affairs in Ashenvale Forest, while his lackey, Balthul, spies on my tower, thinking his presence unknown to me. Delgrin believes us a minor threat, just another death cult, perhaps. Little does he know that we are but one of the strands of the Shadow Council. As a child, I was once told of an insect whose bite could kill with ease, though it looked nothing more than a fly. A speck barely worthy of recognition. It is the things you dismiss which will hurt you the most, left to fester. That sounds kind of dire, like maybe he's poisoned Delgrin. Well, I hope that's not the case, but we do need to go back now and find out. And Delgrin was in Ashenvale, in the northern part of it. So that's where we're headed next, to check on him and turn this in, and hopefully everything's okay, but I have a bad feeling that there's more to be done here to wrap this up. And I did realize that the quest turns in over here to Balthul's Shadow Strike and not at the Tower of Maestra.
Hello.
With the death of Althalaxx, I hope that the demonic forces in this area will be driven back. I have no doubt that they will regroup and return, but then we shall be even more prepared to meet their threat. Ah, we have another quest. For all the work that you have done, you deserve to be well rewarded. Return to Delgrin and tell him that Althalaxx Narison lies still by your hand, and the cult of the Dark Strand is beaten and scattered. Okay, now we're going. Talk to Delgrin. It still amazes me that here we are level 37 and we are back in Ashenvale, we're back questing in Darkshore. It's a little bit surreal. And I have a feeling because of that note that we found, or the notebook page rather, that this might not be the end of this quest chain. But we'll have to see.
What can I do for you?
I knew you would be up to the task. I sense great deeds before you, and that you will right many of the wrongs that plague our lands. Bear my blessings, as well as this gift. We'll take the sword, even though we don't need it. It looks cool.
For the Alliance.
And I guess that is it. Okay, well, that cinches that up. That's nice to be done with that. Let's see what else we have going on. We're at the Highlands, Wand over Fist. That's in Boulderfist Hall. We know where that is. We can easily do that. Probably be more interesting than Panther Mastery. I think we should go do this. We know where this Ogre Hall is, I'm fairly certain, so we'll see you back over in the Arathi Highlands. It is a stormy, rainy day here in Arathi Highlands now, and Boulderfist Hall is going to be south and east of us. Way down in the south, in the crook of the mountains there, is where we could find Boulderfist Hall. And since the quest is yellow, I'm assuming we should be good to tackle this one. If not, we can always grab some players nearby. It's a weekend, so I'm sure people will be on. Let's try to take the most direct route that we can. I think once we gain another level, quite a few quests will open up in Stranglethorn, hopefully, and we can get back into the groove in a single area, but it hasn't been too bad wrapping some of these outstanding areas up. Level 36 Raptors. Some Horde players around. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we have to work our way back into this area. Let's go ahead and review this quest so that we know exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it. Sorry to be so short with you earlier. And no, that ain't a pun. I figured out where Trelane's first item ended up. Korgrash has it in Boulderfist Hall. And by the way, he was throwing down blasts of ice at his kin to keep them in line. He must be close to figuring out how to use all of its powers. I think this turns into some dwarfs south of Thandalspan. We're in combat with a raptor. We had done some quest in a little elite village of dwarven enemies, and I think this quest is going to turn back into one of those two dwarfs. I did make a bunch of elixir of defense. Lucky enough to get a hold of some materials. I don't know how much it's going to help us, but we leveled up our alchemy some. And it definitely can't hurt us. So we're going to have to work our way into this place. Which probably means that we don't have to fight everybody on the outside if we can avoid it. There are other players here, but they're Horde. So that doesn't help us. Although, Crank and Spank, quite a name. Let's see what kind of magic this guy's got. Ice Blast, it looks like. Hopefully he doesn't do anything weird like freeze us in place and run away. That could become problematic in an enclosed area. And then as I say it, he literally does the thing I feared the most. That's amazing. It could become a problem if he runs too far away and ends up pulling somebody else, so we'll have to be careful about our placement as we go in here. Doesn't look very expansive. Oh, snap. Let's go ahead and pop this. And I'd love to get enough rage to use sweeping strikes while that's going on, but we're not going to get a chance to do that, I don't think. Yeah, that didn't really help us out, did it? It ends up that 30 rage is a lot of rage. But we survived, so hooray. We need to make these bandages. It's questionable because I haven't picked up the next level. I do need to go to Theramore next time we're in Kalimdor and just see if we could, if there is a trainer there who could teach us the next level of first aid. That would be amazing. Let's go this way and head further back. I really don't want to fight two of them again because I'm worried we won't survive it, so let's try to pull more carefully. And let's also go ahead and hamstring because they're probably going to run. Oh, they enrage. Well, it's going to hurt, but I'll take an enrage over a runaway. Oh no, these guys always come in pairs of 2. That's not good for us. Especially because they're casters, and we don't have any healing potions left. Don't run away, just let us keep hitting you, please. Okay, nice, nice. Alright, there's the Wand of Invocation. We almost died. Sweeping strikes for the win, I guess. And lucky this guy waited to pull until just now. It would be funny to die to this guy, but even if we did, I don't care too much at this point. We have succeeded in our goal, so hopefully we'll take care of him and just get out of here in one piece. And we know he's going to enrage here in a second. Oh, he's not doing it. Interesting. Oh, there he goes. He just waited till the last possible minute. Maybe we can get out of here before we hit a bunch of respawns. Awesome. Well, as it turns out, you guys might have noticed, this quest doesn't turn in south of here. It actually turns in back in Refuge Point. Apparently today is simply the day where I forget the turn-in points for all of our old quests, although I assume that I know where I'm going. So, for those old quests, I will start scouring the quest text a little bit more heavily to determine the turn-in points, because I was sure that went back to those dwarves, and it doesn't. It goes back to Refuge Point. And it actually says that in the very first line, which I'm pretty sure I skipped to get down to the description. Some of these quests sit in the log so long that even though you pick them up originally and you read them and you're tracking them in your head, by the time you can actually do them or finish them, could be hours later, which for me means it's probably days or weeks later that we come back to some of these. So that's a little bit of a jarring experience. Probably one of the downfalls of Classic, in my opinion, is just the lack of cohesion in the questing experience. Let's get this turned in. Well, he is a dwarf, so they probably said, hey, turn it into this guy. He's in Refuge Point, right? Brilliant. 1 item down and 3 more to go based on my list. The other 3 items are all in Stormguard. Take a rest and get your strength back. The next phase of my plan will require a little more time and effort. Come back to me after you've gotten a warm meal and some rest. Oh, unfortunately, we've already been in Stormguard. Let's see. Trelane's defenses. All rested? Here's our next step. There are ogres all around the Tower of Azeroth in Stormguard. We're gonna need to activate the tower's defenses if you're gonna stand a chance against them and still make it to the items alive. To do that, we're gonna need some gems the Boulderfish Shaman have taken a liking to. They took them from the tower, but they're not gonna stay in their possession for long. Get one of them gems and bring them to Crichton. He knows the spell to enchant them, so they'll work as a key. Find an Azure Agate and bring it to Apprentice Kirtan at Refuge Point. So we haven't been to the Ogre section of Stormguard, so that's good that we're not going to be going through too much similar content. It would be unfortunate if we had to farm those same humans again that I've already spent so much time killing. But this seems like it'll be new. Will it be elite? Of course it is. Of course it is, but it is yellow, so it is something we can look at getting done pretty soon. We'll find a group for it, and we'll go back into Stormguard. I'm assuming a different direction, and we'll fight some ogres.